Tonight's coverage of the IHSA Football Championships is proudly presented by Pepsi. Nothing else is a Pepsi. And by Country Companies Insurance. When it matters most, the country's behind you. Galena, Central A&M, Caneland. Who will claim the final prize on Championship Friday at Hancock Stadium? Welcome back. Along with Al Harris, I'm Brian Davis. And tonight, Al, it's a rematch of the 1996 4A final. Providence High School of New Lenox against Metamora. Providence, the three-time defending state champion. And for them, the story really starts. It doesn't end, but it really starts with their all-everything man, David Popp.
David Popp, he's one of the most explosive, if not the most explosive guy in the state. He dominates in passing and running, believe it or not. 11.4 yard average in the run game, as well as over 1,200 yards in receiving. So he is a great football player.
The Celtics also boast a 1,900-yard rusher. His name is Justin Ruggio.
Justin Ruggio, 1,900 yards this year, 17 touchdowns. They're going to want him to pound the football, wear down that small front.
David Popp was just introduced as a coach's selection for the 4A All-State team, and for the Redbirds of Metamora, they've got a couple of All-Staters, including this guy. Well, Brian Murphy is not an All-Stater, but Brian Murphy is the guy who is really the main man when you start talking about the way that they run the football on the option.
Yes, he is. They have a very balanced offense. He's not going to be the only guy getting the ball, but he's a very important cog. As you see, 23 touchdowns. He's going to do a lot of scoring for him.
Here's the All-Stater, Jamie Distrom. They run the option. He touches the ball a ton.
He touches it a ton, and not only that, he passes it a lot. And that might be something we see today, that they try to pull out a new wrinkle for them.
One of the things that I think will factor in here tonight is the weather. Last year, Providence really couldn't pass the football. They won 28-21. We at least begin under more favorable conditions. How do you think this thing will play out, at least if the rain holds out?
Well, if the rain holds out, you know, you have the revenge factor for Metamora. But at the same time, they're talking about storms coming in tonight, so you never know. Could be again like last year.
Metamora has run the table so far, 13-0, Providence 12-1, a key loss to arch rival Bishop McNamara. We'll get into that as we go along, but it's time now to meet the starters in tonight's 4A championship game. Let's go downstairs to the public address announcer here at Hancock Stadium.
Now, ladies
Jeff
and
Fritzen.
gentlemen, here are the starting lineups for the Class 4A state championship game. First for New Lenox Providence, head coach Matt Sinfner. The defensive starters: at tackle number 76, Nick Pasolano. At tackle number 34, Zach Domenico. At tackle number 59, BJ Wagner. At end, number 80, Eric Steinbach. Cornerback number 27, Scott Peters. Cornerback number 1, Jim Joyce. Linebacker number 43, Anthony Olsta. Safety number 23, Greg Brown. Linebacker number 30, Brendan Kavanaugh. Linebacker number 45, Jonathan Swanek. And at safety number 8, Ricky Olsta. And now for Metamora, head coach Pat Ryan. At end, number 37, Justin Dentino. Tackle number 68, Dave Pullman. At guard number 69, Scott Fair. At center, number 66, Josh Springer. At guard number 63, Adam Belsley. Tackle number 67, Luke Gangloff. At end, number 82, Jeff Seckler. At quarterback, number 17, Jamie Dishroon. At halfback, number 3, Samaj Allen. At halfback, number 11, Jeremy Dykes. And at fullback, number 34, Brian Murphy.
So as the Redbirds of Metamora gather at midfield, let's send it downstairs to our man on the sidelines tonight. Hello, Pete Pranica.
Hello, Brian Davis. For Providence Catholic, the road to normal begins with an 8-1 regular season. They win their first 8, but lose number 9 to Bishop McNamara. Since then, they have been on a tear, beating 4 playoff opponents, 173-35. They take out Morris 34-17 in the semifinal. David Pop with 3 touchdowns in that one. Of course, they are located just east of Joliet, Illinois. For Metamora, a perfect season so far, 9-0 on the regular season. A perfect playoff season, capped with a 24-14 win over Pontiac. In that one, Jamie Dishroom gets a couple of scores to lead them to victory. They are located just northeast of Peoria. Brian, Al, the table is set. We've had great games all day long. Here's to a great 4A title game. Brian?
Pete, thank you. Metamora has won the toss and will receive. The Redbirds come in off of a 24-14 victory over the top seed in their end of the 4A bracket, Pontiac. Providence in the semifinal round beat Morris 34-17, but in the quarters handled the number 1 seed and the 3rd ranked in the Class A or the Class 4A poll. Geneseo Darnell blew them out 45-0 in a game that Matt Sempner says ranks top 5 in the 30 years that he has been coach of the Celtics. Kickoff returners for Metamora, Samaj Allen. You will see him a lot at one of the halfback spots in this option offense. Also on the far side, that's Jeremy Dykes. The kicker for the Celtics of Providence is Mike Godfrey. He puts it up. Dykes will take it at the 14-yard line, and we're underway. Dykes into the pile across the 30-yard line, and so the Redbirds start on offense, 1st and 10. An 18-yard return, and offensively, here is the front line for the Redbirds of Metamora. Adam Belsley, 5'9", 215 pounds. Scott Fear, the most pleasant surprise for Pat Ryan. And now here are your hammer guys. Dishroom, Dentino, Justin Dentino added at tight end tonight. Jeff Seckler, the other end. He is the other All-Stater for Pat Ryan. And the handoff immediately. Brian Murphy is buried. He is taken down. Great penetration right off the bat for Providence by one of their upmen who just blasted straight in. Matt Steinbach, or rather Eric Steinbach, is the other All-Stater according to the 4A coaches. They introduced that team just a short time ago. Then to the linebacking core. These are your leading tacklers. Tony Olsted, Jonathan Swanek leads with 141 tackles. 2-yard loss on the opening play, and once again, Murphy is met and swarmed down. They not even getting Al a chance to breathe on their first couple of plays from scrimmage.
On the first play, Pasolano, I mean, he dominated the play, just totally destroyed the center and made the play on that one. There was a host of guys right up the middle. Once again, they have to seal that middle off.
Nick Pasolano, a sophomore on a senior-dominated unit. Steinbach was the guy who got through that time. Eric Steinbach, of his 97 tackles, 24 of them have been quarterback sacks. 3rd and 13 now. And the play off the right guard. And once again, Brian Murphy just doesn't get a whole lot of room. 4th down, and Metamora will have to punt. Let's go downstairs quickly to Pete Pranica.
Thanks, guys. Coach Matt Sentmer of Providence, very, very vocal about getting momentum early. And one way to do that is to stop the other people 3 and out on the first possession, see what they can do offensively. Guys?
Brad DeMoss will kick it away for Metamora. He averages 35 yards and change a kick, and back to receive the punt Greg Braun. Good floating kick, which will bounce at the 33 and take a Redbirds bounce, and Braun says, I'll take that. He's knocked down immediately, but he saved Providence some field position.
Yes, he saved us some field position. A little bit risky with guys around him, but he obviously has a lot of confidence in his hands. One of the things we didn't notice, that people noticed, who was the guy that was making those first couple plays? Nick Pasolano. He's a sophomore, 5'8", 163 pounds, number 76. So he really blew things up early for Metamora there.
1st and 10 from the 23. Adam O'Reilly. 2,176 yards passing in 1997. He hands off to Justin Ruggio, a 1,900-yard rusher around right end, gain of about 3 or 4. Let's take a look at the Providence offense as we continue with your Country Company's lineup. Rob Stazak, a 4-year state championship starter. He has played in every one of the title games that Stempner has coached here the last several seasons. And again, O'Reilly, Pop, Johnson, Mike Batch, Justin Ruggio, and Kevin Rigsby, the fullback. 2nd and 7 off the gain of 3. Providence operating from its 26-yard line. The handoff straight ahead is Ruggio, and he is taken down almost immediately. Let's take a look at the Metamora defense. Jake Maurer at left end. Seckler, the all-stater, also playing both ways. And then into the linebacking core, Scott Carden, 99 tackles, tops on the Redbirds. 3rd and 3. And here's Ruggio. He gets a nice hole off right tackle, and he's got a 1st down.
Well, that's what you need to do. They got the momentum right away. They're just attacking that smallest front right up the middle with their big people. Just a nice push up there for Ruggio. Man, he just put the shoulder and absolutely ran over David Long on that play. Nice initial push by the Celtics.
Gain of 7. Kevin Rigsby, the lone setback. Ruggio around the right end again, and another good gain. He's taken down by Scott Carden, a 6', 220-pound senior again, Metamora's leader in tackles.
See a nice kick out block there. They're trying to hit that little seam. See that right there? But Scott Carden, number 98, does a nice job of wrapping him up, Ruggio up. Nice play by him. He's our senior linebacker.
Pop to the far side. Brandon Johnson to the near side. Ruggio, the lone setback on 2nd and 4. And he takes the handoff. And he steps back to the right side, and he has a 1st down.
You know, Brian, this is the very thing Metamora feared is Providence just getting those big linemen, getting that move, getting that push.
Up from the bottom of the pile for the Redbirds, Jake Elbert, the junior right end. Providence has moved the ball with efficiency just shy of midfield. They're at the 49. Out of the eye, O'Reilly hands off to Ruggio, follows the block of Rigsby for a gain of about 6.
Now, I would think the one thing that if you're Metamora, one of the things you may want to do with a big team like this is get a stunt, because you have smaller, quicker guys, either have a slant or a blitz to come in there and disrupt things in the backfield. Right now, they're just giving them a steady diet of Ruggio right now.
The Celtics' goal is to block down about a yard and then chip off to the linebacker. Stempner says if we do that, we're going to win the football game. Once again from the eye. And the handoff to the fullback, Rigsby. They disguise that play well.
Yeah, they do. Here you go. They're running their tailback over and over, and they just give it right into the fullback. You notice nothing fancy right now. They have one of the most explosive players in the state, David Pop, and they've hardly went to him at all yet. I don't even think they've looked his direction yet.
Modest gain, 3rd and 4 in Metamora territory. 3rd and 4 at the 45-yard line. Receivers split to the near side. Pop and Johnson. Rigsby and then the tail Ruggiero. He's got it. And he powers his way forward. Second attempt. He's stopped short. Ruggiero is stopped short by about a yard. Tackle on the play by David Long for the Redbirds.
That was a nice shot by Long, because see, they've been attacking right on that inside the whole time. Oh, nice thing. I thought that first guy had it there, but Long came in there and made a good initial hit, and the other guys came in and cleaned up for him.
Building on the theory of establishing momentum early, Matt Sempner has decided to go for it on 4th and a long 1. Officially 2. Lone setback is Ruggiero. He carries, and it's close. I'm not sure he made it.
I don't think he made it. They did a great job of upending, getting people inside. With those small people, they filled the gaps very well on that play.
His feet were cut out from under him by Scott Carton.
They're just giving that steady diet there. You see they have it overloaded to the left side. Just great pursuit just by a host of guys. Mike Himes, a whole bunch of those guys got in there.
So Pat Ryan's defense stands, and Metamora takes over on downs, 1st and 10 at their own 43-yard line. Here's Dishroom. He gets to the edge, but he is hogtied, taken down efficiently on the play by Greg Braun. Braun, the starting free safety opposite Ricky Olsta. Tony Olsta, the second leading tackler at outside linebacker for Providence. There's Braun. 1-yard gain. Dishroom hands off to Jeremy Dykes, and once again, they play so close to the line of scrimmage on those option plays, Al, that Providence getting the penetration that it does, it's really tough to find some room, at least if you're trying to go north and south.
Yeah, they do. I mean, they have some excellent tackling guys there. Domenico, I mean, he made the excellent play there. I mean, just got his shoulders, wrapped them up. These guys on their front 4, they're dominating Metamora right now on the line of scrimmage.
Now the 3rd and long, 3rd and 8, 45-yard line of Metamora. Dishroom rolls out. Now he shovels the ball ahead to Samaj Allen. The ball came out. Providence says it recovers. Braun came up with it. Was he down by contact? 4th down is being signaled by the officials. Nick Pasolano again.
Well, that guy, Pasolano, he made a lot of plays in there early. You see, he does a good job of keeping his feet. I mean, he has really been disrupting things with the fullback, and you see him getting there. Now, even though the guy was down, that guy has been very active. We keep an eye on him today.
Gain of 5, but it's 4th and 3. Pasolano and Greg Braun, who is now back in single safety to receive the punt from Brad DeMoss. Low kick, now it's a fake. He passes. DeMoss ahead, the 1st down. The pass complete to Brian Murphy, the fullback. Ball comes out. Providence recovers. There is a flag on the play, but if this one stands, roses turn to ashes for the Redbirds.
Great coaching move by Pat Ryan there to go off the fake. Off of a 4th down punt. It was 4th and short. Let's see what the call is.
Now the officials are conferring. Referee tonight is Paul Tomazzoli, and they wave off the flag. 1st down. No. Okay, there we go. He signals 1st down Metamora, and then he turns around and correctly awards possession to Providence.
And they passed it to Brian Murphy out there in the flat, but you got to hold on to the football. You can tell, I mean, Providence is really emotionally into this game, and they're very good tacklers. They'll lay a helmet on you in a hurry.
Well, so far, Nick Pasolano up front and Greg Braun out of the safety spot. The free safety are having the monster moments for the Celtics. 3 minutes left. Ruggiero, the handoff. And he is hammered down just across the line of scrimmage. Tackle made by Rhett Relaford.
And Scott Carden also, he was in there. He's had 41 solos and 58 assists, 5 sacks. And it's very important for them to get established also defensively, because definitely Providence have made their statement.
So 2nd and 9 from the Celtics 43. 2.5 minutes remaining first quarter. We're scoreless. O'Reilly swings it out, completes the pass to his tight end, Eric Steinbach. Pete Pranica on the sidelines.
I'll tell you what, guys, Coach Pat Ryan of the Redbirds was very insistent before the game. He says in order for us to have a chance to win, we have to possess the football for as long as possible and play keep away from the Celtics. They haven't been able to do that. 3 and out on the first series, and the second series, they get the first down and fumble. Providence has been moving the ball very easily. The Redbirds need to get it right back. Brian?
Thank you, Pete. Matt Wilkerson made the tackle. Steinbach a gain of 4 on the swing pass. Receivers to the near side. That's Pop in the slot, and O'Reilly looking downfield for David Pop. The pass is broken up. Pop got a hand on it. He also had some company, the Redbird safety, Brett Dolinsky.
Yeah, you notice Pop came across there, and he got popped after that play. I think they're going to try to let him know anytime he comes across that middle, they're going to unload on him. Now watch this, led a little bit high, and bang! Nice hit there.
Oh, here we go again with that pop.
Oh, yeah, that was a little bit late, but I think they're trying to let him know that nothing's going to be easy today.
Tony Olsta averaging 31 yards. A punt for Providence. He gets the kick away. Samaj Allen signaling for a fair catch at the 28-yard line. We're scoreless late in the first quarter. Providence and Metamora playing for the Class 4A championship at Hancock Stadium in Normal. With Al Harris, Brian Davis, Pete Pranica is on the sideline. He'll be checking in a moment. 1st and 10. Metamora from its own 29-yard line. 1:31 remaining first quarter. Now Dishroom has a notion to pass. Heavy pursuit from Pasolano. The ball nearly intercepted by Greg Braun as he overshoots Samaj Allen. Back downstairs to Pete Pranica.
All right, thanks, Brian. One of the things that Redbird coach Pat Ryan told me this week, he said, you know, last year we came in here, we were a little bit shocked to be here. So our week of preparation was a little disorganized. He said this year, much calmer in the football office, much calmer in practice, a good week of practice. They are not in awe of the Celtics. Brian?
Thanks, Pete. Redbird's trying to extend the field a little bit.
Yeah, they want to extend it, but they're better control Nick Pasolano because he's going to destroy their whole game plan. He's getting penetration left and right.
If Matt Sentner is playing a sophomore, you know that the guy has got some skills. Samaj Allen rolls around to the left side of the line off the left end. Gain of about 4, 5, maybe even 6 yards.
Yeah, they needed some momentum there because I tell you what, Providence has been blowing up their running plays left and right and getting pressure everywhere. So it was good for Allen to get out there. You see his average per carry is 8.6, so he can definitely make the big play for you.
Metamora 0 of 2 on 3rd down. They face 3rd and a long 3. Samaj Allen, you like him running the football. How about his 23-yard per catch average receiving? Disher, the fake handoff. He's looking for Murphy, the fullback. Bobbles, hauls it in. He's brought down by Braun on the near sidelines, but not before he gets a first down for the Redbirds.
And that's one thing you need to do. You're getting overwhelmed at the line of scrimmage. Get outside a little bit. Little play action fake there. Get Murphy out into the flat. Get him one-on-one with those guys. Make it tough to tackle that big guy.
11-yard gain on 3rd down. We're into the final half minute of the first quarter. Up to the line. The center is Josh Springer, 5'10", 190 senior. Dish room, hands off to Murphy. He goes over left tackle and gains a couple.
Now, you know, Murphy, I don't know if we can catch this, but Murphy, when he ran on that play, he did a Cardinal sin. He kind of just ducked his head down. He didn't keep his head up, and he just fell right down flat on his face. He has to keep his head up when he's coming through the line of scrimmage.
Pat Ryan talks of the need to out-quick Providence because they're not going to win a fist fight. The other thing he was going to try to do was use some multiple sets with some play action, little boot, little misdirection as time expires in the first quarter. We'll build on that when we come back. A scoreless first 12 minutes.
Totally different from the last game.
Absolutely, and thank goodness the rain is holding at Hancock Stadium in Normal. The Redbirds of Metamora now heading to the north end zone here in Normal. 2nd and 6, nose to the football just shy of the 50-yard line. Dishroom pitches to Allen, gets a good window, gets beyond the line of scrimmage, gets past the pack at the line, and gets into the secondary for a first down.
Yeah, he did. They did a nice little counter there. They blocked down and sent guys around there and just did a power play there. You see him come around and block down, kick out, good block by the fullback. And there's my guy, Pasolano, man. He's playing like the Tasmanian Devil here, man. He is everywhere, 76.
Can you say backside pursuit? Wow.
This guy is everywhere. You got to keep an eye on him. He's fun to watch.
From the 39, Dishroom takes it himself, right side, good gain, hammered down. He will pay the price every time he does that, but he gains 7 or 8 yards on the play.
He's what some of the young guys say, he has good quicks. I mean, he got around that corner in a hurry. Their offense is mainly geared around Dishroom.
Jamie Dishroom, 183 carries coming in today, 1,142 yards, 19 touchdowns rushing, 37 of 81, 719 yards passing, 13 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. From the 33, again Murphy, first down.
They're getting a little momentum established right now, Brian, and this is what they want to do. They don't want to get behind the Celtics if the Celtics just pound them into submission. They want to get out in front of them. But surprisingly, this is a defensive game, and their defenses, I don't think, has been as strong as their offenses have been this year. Both of them have given up a lot of points considering being in championship.
Also a game of adjustments in the Bishop McNamara game that ended Providence's 50-game winning streak. They did something defensively that the Celtics weren't ready for. They ran a delayed linebacker blitz. Now Metamora seems to have found something to exploit against Providence's defense. Murphy again the ball carrier.
Yeah, and Eric Steinbach, the number 80, a big, tall defensive end for Providence, made a nice play there. Eric Steinbach has 24 sacks. But here we go. There's my buddy there, Nick Pasolano. I don't know him, but I'd like to know him. Look at that guy sticking his head in there. He's a sophomore, 163 pounds, but he's going to be at almost every play.
Murphy was the lead blocker. Samaj Allen carried for a yard, 2nd and 9 from the 27. Yeah, Steinbach, man, 24 sacks out of 97 tackles. That's 1 and 4. Pass for Dykes, bounces off his helmet. It's intercepted. Intercepted by the cornerback, Jim Joyce. Joyce to the far side, knocked out of bounds, but the ball bounced off of Jeremy Dykes right into Jim Joyce's hands. Providence takes over off the turnover. A 25-yard interception return.
Well, this is the thing that's been hurting Metamora. Both times they've had a chance to make big plays. One off the punt, they had a fumble. And this, an interception, kind of a freaky thing. Good play action pass there. Right over the top, bang, bounces right off the top of his head. Great interception by Joyce and good return there. Nice blocking on the corner, and he just takes it right up that field. Turnovers. Providence has done a great job getting that ball back through turnovers.
Finally run out of bounds by Joe Dries for the Redbirds. Ball is spotted at the 29-yard line. Offensively, the Celtics don't run too many plays. Power blast, middle trap, misdirection for the running back, but they do them so well. Here's Pop out of the backfield. This is his first carry of the day.
Yeah, that kind of reminds you of the USC days, you know, the old USC Trojans. They used to only had a couple plays, but they said they dared you to stop them. But this time, Metamora stopped this one once again by Scott Carden. He's had a great game so far, number 98.
Pop out of the backfield. 59 carries, 673 yards. There's Carden. 11.5 yards a carry for Pop, 6 touchdowns rushing. Under center, O'Reilly back to pass. Looks to the right side. Now comes back to Brandon Johnson. Used his tight end, Mike Batch, as a decoy. Johnson came back into the seam and made the reception.
That was a nice catch and, pass and catch by O'Reilly and Johnson. But the story of that play was the offensive line. He had plenty of protection, O'Reilly did, just to sit there and throw the football. So I really credit that play to their offensive line.
O'Reilly again, 2,176 yards through the air, 24 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. Third down again, it's 3rd and 5. O'Reilly, swing passes dropped by Pop. 4th down, Providence will have to punt. Downstairs to Pete Pranica.
Thanks, Brian. I was on the sideline. Jamie Dishroom turned to one of those offensive linemen. He says, you know what? We have guys open. I can get the ball to him. Just somebody's got to catch it. It's that simple. Brian?
As long as somebody catches it and as long as he gets a little time to throw the football, which now he really has. He's started to get it.
Yeah, he's starting to get it because they're establishing that running game a little bit. But they still have to catch the football, even though he throws it to him.
Tony Olsta with Samaj Allen. Kicks it away from him, and in fact kicks it well short. And the punt takes a big Metamora bounce into Providence territory.
Yeah, that hurts you a little bit. I mean, I don't know if that went more than 10 yards on that punt.
15.
15. I mean, that'll hurt you, especially for field position. Now they're at midfield. They probably lost about at least 15 yards on that punt.
Well, Olsta's first punt was in the 40s. He just got a little, well, first of all, hit it a little bit, and then also got that bad reverse English on it.
Yep. This game is playing out totally different from last year. A high-scoring affair last year. Defensive struggle this year.
Pat Ryan and his coaching staff smell the bacon, in a sense anyway. You're 4 minutes into the second quarter, and you've kept Providence off the board. Once again, diving into the line. The handoff to Murphy.
What's nice about this game, you see two teams, and people go, where's the scoring at? There's not a lot of scoring, quite frankly, because you have 2 very evenly matched teams who faced each other last year. And this is what you see. You really, really good teams. You're not going to see a whole ton of scoring. You know, they know each other. They played each other last year. They've seen countless film on each other, I would imagine. So it's just going to be man on man to see who wants it the most. Who wants it the most anyway.
Nick Pasolano and B.J. Wagner, the tacklers on that last play. Dishroom goes back under pressure. Down he goes. Sacked by Steinbach.
The big fella, Steinbach. You can see why this guy has 24 sacks. Big fella. He just got immediately up the field. He tackled a hard-running quarterback, Jimmy Dishroom, but see, he comes out there, gets immediate penetration there, overpowers Allen there. Allen had no chance to block him. Great play.
Sort of a matador block as well. He had no position, so all he could really do is wave.
He could block that big guy. Allen looked at him. Allen's like 160 pounds. Steinbach's 235, 6'7". So he almost has a foot over Allen. There's only 5'7".
9-yard loss, 3rd and 18 now. Let's see what the Redbirds have up their collective sleeve this time on 3rd down. Receivers. Jeremy Dykes is in the slot.
6'7", 235.
How about that?
What are they?
Timeout is called. We're going to take a pause here as we hit to the middle part of the second quarter. Scoreless in the 4A title game. Broadcast rights to tonight's game have been granted to Sports Channel and Intersport by the Illinois High School Association. Any reproduction or rebroadcast of this event without the written consent of the IHSA, Intersport and Sports Channel prohibited. Pete Pranica downstairs stoking the flames of information.
Thanks, Brian. Pat Ryan of Metamora, an unusual job. He goes to the middle of the field during the timeout to talk to his team. I think part of the reason is the Metamora fans are on the near side. As you look at your TV screen, they are very, very loud in support of the Redbirds. Brian?
3rd and 18 from the Metamora 44, and Murphy, well, the handoff fake to Murphy, and Dishroom had some running room. Off the left edge, gets back into Providence territory, but only really gains the first stick. A little bit more, and it's going to be 4th and 7 yards to go.
he got a pretty good chunk off of that. That's one of the things you want to do is get this guy, Jamie Dishram, involved in this game because he's the big key to their team.
Well, he got better than I thought. 4th and 5, 11 yards on the game. Once again, Brad DeMoss.
Well, will Providence be looking for a fake? I would imagine so after what happened last time. Their eyes are open. You see them pointing to each other, making sure I got this guy, you got that guy.
This time, DeMoss will kick it away. Braun signals for a fair catch, out of bounds, touchback.
See that? See, now you have them, after you run that fake punt, probably for the rest of the game, you're not going to have people trying to pressure your punter. So that's the other thing it does, too. It takes the pressure off your punter. That's
a 44-yard punt. Reminder that the Chicago Sun-Times newspaper network are the official newspapers of the IHSA state championships. It is a muggy evening, but we'll take that compared to the monsoon we had in 1996. Good crowd here at Hancock Stadium in Normal. There's Matt Sempner, 30 years. His last sub-500 season was in 1980. Ruggiero on 1st down.
Nice play by Jake Maurer on that. He came right down and just put the shoulder right to Ruggiero. 6'1", 180 junior.
Looking there at Mike Batch, the tight end. There's Ruggiero. He's a wrestler. He's got a tough mentality. Follows his blockers well. 226 yards in a playoff victory over Marmion Academy. Now a reel to Pop, but a sure tackle made by the DB Samaj Allen.
You know, it looked like Providence early on looked like Sempner wanted to stay away from Pop early, I guess. I guess he thought they would be doubling him up or really watching him. So they're starting to go to him now. They need to get him involved to get on the scoreboard.
You know something incredible about Matt Sempner. He's won 3 consecutive state titles. He also won in 87 and 91. You realize that the Celtics under Sempner were under 500 for 9 of his first 13 seasons?
Wow.
Now, Ruggiero spins into the line on 1st down. And Pete Pranica is back downstairs.
Thanks, guys. Jamie Dishram came off the field after that last Redbird drive. He was very upset with himself, came over, got a drink of water, slammed the cup down, but then he goes back to his offensive teammates and says, you know what, we'll get him next drive. A lot of positive reinforcement. He was mad, turned it around, turned it into a positive. We'll see if it pays dividends on the next Metamora drive. Brian?
Thank you, Pete. Gain of 3 for Ruggiero. He's got 40 on 11 carries. Receivers split right and left. The handoff to Ruggiero, met and driven down. Big hit by Rhett Relaford. Ball comes out.
That was a really nice play by Relaford. Came in there, he got good pressure on him, but you got to wrap him up and finish him off. Ruggiero's not going to just go down, you know, just by the shoulder pads. You got to wrap him and tie him up, bring him down. He's there. Got to wrap him. He's not going to go down for you.
There he goes.
He's not going to go down. You got to hit. You got to wrap him up as well as put those shoulder pads on. That's a good lesson to all you watching as far as tackling. That's one of the things you see lacking in college and pro football.
Ruggiero, at the beginning of the season, corrected a tendency to run high, and he turned his hips to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, he turned it, but you got to wrap him up. Doesn't matter what he does if you wrap him up.
A reel to Pop, who also has no desire to hit the turf. 1st down at midfield.
Pop does a very good job. Once he catches the ball, he just starts leaning. You know, and he has those running back skills, as we shared with you earlier. You know, when he gets the ball, he's not only the catch, you know, getting downfield and catching the ball, he's dangerous after the catch. Now watch him, just gets leaning forward. He's just using those feet, pushing forward. Those guys are taking shots at him, but meanwhile, he's picking up a couple more yards.
Late in the 1st half, we remain scoreless. The Celtics have helped their cause with a couple of turnovers, an interception and a fumble recovery. Rigsby, the fullback, back of the eye is Ruggiero. O'Reilly takes a look, finds nobody. Here he goes. 30, 20, down the sidelines, and finally steps out of bounds at the 10-yard line. as Rhett Relaford drew a bead on him. 38 yards for O'Real off the busted play.
O'Real did a great job on there. You didn't realize how fast this guy was on this play. You know, just does a play action fake there. Doesn't see anyone open. Takes it right up the pipe. Now watch him turn it on here. For a quarterback, he's really not known as a runner, more of as a thrower, but I mean, he turns it on down there. It's hard to catch up to him.
Celtics 1st and 10, 12-yard line. Split backfield. Rigsby on the near side, back to pass. O'Real under pressure. He throws it away before he's buried by Metamora's nose guard, Mike Hines.
You know, one thing I've noticed about Providence, and I'm sure Metamora's the same way, this is a very well-coached team. I mean, O'Real threw the ball away. He made a NFL quarterback's type of play, throwing the ball away.
We talked before about their running game and how few clubs, relatively speaking, they have in the bag. They don't have that many pass plays either. Receivers right and left, pop to the near side. Out of the eye, the handoff to Ruggiero. Gains a couple on 2nd and 10. Check his forward progress, maybe to the 9. No, to the 10-yard line, so a gain of 2.
Now, this is a big play there for Metamora. You know, they've got a good stop here. You know, they don't want to let these guys get in the end zone because this is a closely fought game. So, you know, 7 points could be the difference in this game, the way these two defenses are playing right now.
Providence 2 of 5 on 3rd down. It's 3rd and 8 at the 10. Brandon Johnson to the far side. David Pop to the near side. Out of the eye. Ruggiero, the tail of the tandem. Quick pop. Floats it up. Touchdown. Brandon Johnson beat the defensive back to put Providence on the board.
O'Real did a great job of just throwing the fade there to Johnson. But Johnson did a great job of setting that up on the corner. This is what you call just a basic fade pattern. Just lofted up there. And he just overmatches Wilkerson there. It's just almost like a jump ball in basketball.
Mike Godfrey, 57 of 60 on the season on the point after, and the hard rush by Carton, no good. The extra point fails, but Providence scores to go ahead 6-0 with 2.5 minutes remaining in the first half.
That's very unusual for Godfrey. He's 57 out of 60 kicking PATs, so that's very unusual for him to miss a kick.
Don't see too many high school kickers attempting field goals. He's 3 of 4. His counterpart, Rick Relaford, for the Redbirds, has not attempted a field goal at all this season.
Well, I'll tell you what, O'Real really led this drive, you know, with that long 38-plus run, and now with a nice fade, he just lofts it up there. Watch, it's like a basketball. Just got the position in there over Wilkerson. Great play by Brandon Johnson. And he's excited. That's what high school ball is all about, getting excited. Cheerleaders are certainly excited, aren't they?
Brandon Johnson, 6'4". Matt Wilkerson, 5'11". A 9-play, 80-yard drive, as you see there. Point after failed.
Now here we go. Now, how will Metamora answer? They lost this game last year. You have to wonder in their mind, will doubt start to creep in at this point, or do they just go back and attack it right away and get after it?
In their quarterfinal victory over Glenwood, which they wound up winning 58-26, they were down 14 points in the first half. Pat Ryan says that was soul-searching time, and obviously they found the right things. Godfrey kicks it away. Dishroom has to play it. Now, nope. Ball.
Oh, man.
Did he step out of bounds?
They ruled him that he touched out of bounds. He could have let that go.
Well, he had a notion to let it go, but then the ball spun back. Watch.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, he touched it.
He touched it, but he stepped. Yeah, it bounced back at him. It looked like he was going to let it go out, but it bounced back to him.
Did you see the foot out of bounds? His right foot was the length of a shoe and then some out of bounds, so a tough break. Dishroom has to start his offense at his own 12.
The thing Dishroom has to watch out is getting emotional into the game. That Pete said he was angry. You got to keep cool as a quarterback.
There's the keeper now for Dishroom. One tackle missed. Jonathan Swanek missed the initial attempt. We've got an injury update. Let's go back downstairs to Pete.
Brian, number 79, Rob Stazak of Providence goes out. Sprained right ankle. They've cut the tape off the right ankle. You can see him perhaps at the left end zone. He is walking to the locker room a little gingerly, but they took the wraps off. Not sure if he will return tonight. Brian?
Stazak is a load at left guard for the Celtics. 6'2", 318 pounds. I mentioned earlier that he has played every one of these games on the turf at Hancock the last 4 years.
That's
Dishroom back to pass, looking for Dykes. Almost has it, can't quite, as actually the defender had better position on him.
One of the things I talked about earlier about with Jamie Dishroom is when you're a quarterback, I mean, it's good to be intense, but you don't want to get, you know, be angry and things like that because you have so much more involved than any other player does. So that's one of the things that, I'm not saying that affected that play, but he has to, you know, be intense but not allow his emotions to overrun him.
3rd and 4. Scott Peters, the cornerback, had a 41-yard interception returning that route of Geneseo Darnall, which was the #1 seed in this division. Murphy, ball comes out. Brown picks it up, and he is knocked out of bounds at the 5-yard line.
You know what the story of this game is? Turnovers. 3 times turnovers have burned Metamora, and now deep in their own territory. This is something you don't want to happen. Great penetration on there. Murphy has to hang on to that football. They had great penetration, good strip.
Greg Braun has had an awesome first half for Providence. I'm nothing short of awesome.
3 turnovers there.
Adam O'Reilly starts his offense deep in the red zone. 1st and goal, 5-yard line of Metamora. Flag down. Have to see, it looks like they were just blowing the play completely dead down on the field.
Now, you know, Brian Murphy has to hang on to the football. You can't fumble it like that. Zach Domenico made a great stop there. They got the ball out. Great pickup by Greg Braun.
Dead ball foul, procedure, offense. Replay the down, first down.
Now, Metamora has to be thinking, let's get us a turnover. We turned the ball over 3 times already in the first half. Let's get a turnover and bring the momentum back to our side.
Minute 34 remaining in the 2nd quarter. Receivers right and left, pump to the near side. Johnson far side, out of the offset eye. O'Reilly short-armed it under pressure and is not able to complete the pass. It was intended for Jonathan Swanek,
and nice,
who comes in on the other side of the football in red zone situations.
Yep, and nice play by Jake Maurer there. I mean, he got up the field and forced O'Reilly to throw that ball in a hurry. And that's what you need to do. Now, see, watch Jake Maurer there, number 30. Get upfield right away. See, he threw it quicker because the receiver was wide open there. So that was a great play by Maurer. That could have been a touchdown.
I've heard of receivers getting alligator arms, but he kind of short-armed that one.
Big
2nd and goal at the 10. Pop the lone setback. O'Reilly for the tight end. Steinbach, touchdown.
Eric Steinbach for 10 yards.
Hard to miss a guy 6'7", 235 pounds. What are they feeding those people down there in New Lenox, huh? Big people there.
Whatever it is, it works. Eric Steinbach, a 2-way star who is committed to the University of Iowa. He says that loss a few weeks ago to Bishop McNamara, the quote was, "Totally crushed my heart." He is one of these guys who feels a particularly acute sense of mission about starting another streak that may go 50 games. The attempt for 2. Looks like the receiver fell down. Hard to say whether that was the case. Looked like he was going for Ruggiero, or maybe O'Reilly just dumped it away.
Well, when you have a big tight end like this, I mean, it's hard to miss a guy. You watch him, see right in the center of the screen there, he does a nice route right over the middle, head fakes the linebacker. That's the easiest throw in football. Steinbach, Eric Steinbach, you see him at the top of your screen. Just a nice throw straight there. I mean, there's no angle at it, straight down the middle. That's the easiest throw for a quarterback.
The linebacker, Carden, released Steinbach into the secondary, into the coverage of Brett Delinsky and Samaj Allen.
You know, he just did a great job of setting that linebacker up. I mean, he did a nice little head fake. You know, that fake like he was going out and right over the center.
Now Pat Ryan on the kick returns is using 3 men across. There's Steinbach. Mike Godfrey will kick it. Well, he's got a choice. Dishroom, well, Dishroom and Dykes now flip. Dykes to the near side. Dishroom to the far side with Allen in the middle. One of the shorter scoring drives you'll see. The ball is taken by the up back. This is Joe Mishler. He fights his way forward to the 32-yard line. Tackled by Jim Joyce.
You know, one of the things that people realize, how does a guy get that wide open like that? Now, as you see him right across the center screen, he's going to give a little fake there. Boom. He freezes a linebacker. Actually, it's a safety. He froze him there. See, that's how you do. You set the guy up, act like you can go out and just come right across that middle. Nice play.
So 1st and 10 for Metamora from the 26-yard line. 1 minute, 20 seconds remaining in the first half. Dishroom to Allen. Stutters back, and he is met by Zwanek. There was a hole for a moment, but the Celtics' leading tackler takes a share of that drop.
Yeah, that's how you hit somebody right there. I mean, these guys are so well coached. That's the one thing I noticed. They tackle very, very well. I mean, they get their shoulder pads in there, their helmet, everything.
You know, they only have 20 minutes of team time a day. The rest of it is individual drills and scout teams. That's how you get good, isn't it?
Yep, that's a great thing. And see, I didn't know that, but you can just watch them playing.
Dishroom. Oh, nice dump to Murphy right over Eric Steinbach's head. First down beyond the 40-yard line.
Now, this is going to be interesting to see how Brian Murphy rebounds from this. He's had 2 big fumbles in this game, so it's going to be interesting. They got to get him right back in the game and say, hey, you're one of our top players, Brian. We need you in here.
12-yard gain. Dishroom had to get rid of it. Otherwise, Steinbach was thinking dinner.
He's caught him out in the flat, get him one-on-one with the corner, let him run him over just like that.
Wagner, the end, was coming from the other side. Offense is loaded to the near side. Dishroom takes a look, steps up, gets a block. Now finally at midfield, big pop laid on.
There's my guy again.
Tony Olsta finished him off.
Pasolano, Nick Pasolano. This guy is all over the place. I mean, he pursues from sideline to sideline. He is everywhere.
Give some credit to Providence.
Watch him get down the line of scrimmage. He's on the nose. Now, the quarterback is rolled out the opposite way. Now, you got to realize this guy has some pretty quick feet. There he is at the top of the screen. He's getting down there now. He missed the tackle, but this guy is all over the place. He's only a sophomore.
Yep. I was going to say give some credit also to Providence's secondary because Dishroom had no room downfield. Everybody was covered. So 2nd and 6. Ball is at the Metamora 46-yard line. 24 seconds remaining. Redbirds have called timeout.
Now you got 24 seconds left. You want to at least get, you know, maybe if you can get a quick score in 24 seconds. You know, in high school, you can pop some big plays in a hurry. But at the same time, they fumbled the football. So, you know, you don't want to turn over a sack by a Steinbach. You know, he strips a quarterback from fumble, and possibly they can go in for another score. So it's a little bit risky, but you want to see if possible you get on the scoreboard before halftime.
Dishroom steps up. Well, not for long. He's hit by Olsta, and he's dropped. Tony Olsta, with his 9th sack of the season, puts a big hole in the Redbirds' 2-minute drill, and an 11-yard loss.
I love the way these guys play. I mean, he just totally unloaded on Dishroom there. Dishroom had no room to do anything on that play.
Now look at how he settles down and then explodes.
Look at this tackle. Wham! Now that's how you that's form tackling right there, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, watch, he comes up like a blitz just right up. This is how you form tackle. Hands under the rear end, shoulders right underneath the rib cage. That's how you tackle.
Matt Sempner, after 30 years, he is the kind of guy that you would expect would be a clinic meister, and he has some.
They are putting on a clinic. If you watch what they do, when they rush the passer, just the techniques they use, you can tell that, well, this is not only a team that has fine ability, they're well coached. That means they're skilled. They're a skilled team as well as ability.
9 seconds remaining in the first half, 3rd down. So more than likely, they've got a shot for one more play.
I don't know if I'd try it with 9 seconds left, especially with that big pass rusher they got there, Steinbach. He might make something happen on him. I think I'd just run this out and try to get back into the locker room.
Dishrum's got a stronger arm. But once again, he's forced. Now downfield looking for Allen, and he overshoots with 2 seconds remaining.
I don't know about you, but it almost looks like Providence is playing with 12 players. I mean, they're all over the place. Every time they throw the ball downfield, there's 2 guys there. When he drops back, it seems like there's 2 guys on Jamie Dishrum's back. It seems like they're everywhere.
We had the 2A game earlier, and by the way, there were 16 records either tied or broken in that game, in a 35-28 victory for Central A&M of Moweaqua over St. Joseph High School of Ogden. This is not obviously a 12-0. It's not the same kind of entertaining track meet style game, but it's been entertaining for different reasons. It's been an intriguing game to watch.
Well, very well coached games on both sides. I've been talking a lot about Providence, but Metamora, Pat Ryan's done a fine job with his ball club also.
25-second clock expired, so 4th and 15 becomes 4th and 20. Timeout called, timeout called.
Did you see what he did there? He just said, calm down, calm down. See, that's what I'm saying. He's realizing he's got to talk to his quarterback. Settle down. That's the one thing as a quarterback, you can't get too emotionally involved in the game. You have to keep your head. So he's doing a good job there, getting these guys settled down. There's 2 seconds left. He's probably reminding them of the situation. You have to protect the football and execute the play he wants to run. But they have to protect the football. You don't want an interception here that a guy runs back for a touchdown before halftime. That'll crush you.
Pat Ryan, in his 8th season as head coach of the Redbirds, worked on the confidence game with his guys. He said earlier this week that the mere fact that we were in a championship game is a plus, and also their semifinal victory at Pontiac. They won on the road. He said that was really important. In some ways, it was a statement game for the Redbirds. Quickly up to the line they come. Providence has to hustle to set defensively. Dishroom under pressure from Steinbach. Overshoots Jeremy Dykes to bring the first half to a close. So Providence scores twice late, once on a good drive and once off of a turnover that gave them the ball at the 5-yard line. And the Celtics will take a 12-0 lead into the locker room at halftime.
Well, they need to go back in there and just settle down a little bit, get their composure back. They're still right in this ball game.
Pete Pranica is standing by downstairs.
Thanks, Brian. Coach Sempner, your impressions of the first half. Metamora and Providence played very even for the first quarter. Second quarter, you guys turned it up a notch.
Well, we got a couple of breaks. There's no doubt about it. We got the ball in good position down there on that fumble recovery. And, you know, we haven't really been playing that well offensively. Defensively, we've been doing a pretty good job. So we got some work to do in the second half offensively.
What adjustments will you make in the locker room to maybe bring that offensive improvement about?
Maybe a little motivation. Got to make sure that we're seeing the people where we're saying that they are. And, you know, we're gonna, you know, the passing game, we're going to have to throw the ball more. Obviously, they're just loading up on us.
Okay, good luck in the second half. All right, Brian, take it away.
Loading up. Well, I guess that's a relative term. We'll talk about what other motivation may be employed. He might get some help from some of his players as we take you through halftime highlights and more coming your way from Hancock Stadium in Normal. Welcome back to Hancock Stadium in Normal. Again, kind of a boxing match, little rope-a-dope in the first half, for most of the first half. With Al Harris, I'm Brian Davis. Glad to have you along. Again, Providence scores twice late in the first half. So let's take a look at it first from Pat Ryan's side, Metamora. You're in the dressing room with that group. What are you telling them right now, Al?
I'm telling them right now, just calm down a little bit. I think last year they want this I think it was a big revenge game for them. And I think they're trying a little bit too hard. I think he's saying, guys, calm down, play your style of game, don't do anything unnatural. Recover from the turnovers, let's protect the football.
There also ought to be a little bit of emotional fire in Providence's dressing room. Again, last year in a monsoon when they couldn't really pass the ball, they win 28-21. I think that they were better than a touchdown better in 1996. David Popp, not too long ago, was at the semifinal game when David Popp popped off in the dressing room. They had a 20-9 lead, and he says, I don't like the way we're playing. You guys had better fire it up. And Matt Sempner says, I've never heard David Popp speak up in the locker room in my life.
But that's part of senior leadership. He's been to the States 3 times in a row now, and he's just telling the guys, hey, let's play like we've always played. Let's not change our nature now. So that's really played big for Providence. All
right, Providence obviously in this game has got the momentum. How do you build on that? Do you continue to pass the football, or where you're up 2 touchdowns, even though they could come back with a couple of quick scores because you missed your extra points? Do you go ahead and you start grinding the ball?
I think you continue to grind the ball, but also get it to Pop. He's your big play guy, and that's one guy you really want to do some damage for you.
Well, we're going to see what happens here. Once again, Providence scores on a good drive, and then right off the turnover. 3 turnovers for the Redbirds. They got to stop that stuff.
Yeah, they got to, or they're going to be out of this game in a hurry.
What about the complexion? I mean, the way that changed the complexion of the game. They actually had the momentum in the first quarter.
Yeah, they did. I mean, when you fumble the ball like that, you have a chance, especially off of a fake punt, and they come back and they give the ball right back to Providence. That takes a lot of momentum away from you.
Well, there is the attitude mascot now, the sportsmanship campaign that is being waged by the Illinois High School Association. In Providence, this is a big-time cheerleading squad, and they're putting on quite a show here at halftime, where once again their guys lead Celtics 12-0 over the Redbirds. Stay with us. Halftime continuing from Normal.
Back at Hancock Stadium in Normal, Illinois, the Celtics leading the Redbirds 12-0 at the half. I'm here with Steve Tucker, the Chicago Sun-Times, and talking about tonight's game. Metamora came out, played well early, then you get kind of a strange interception with the ball bouncing off a kid's helmet, and Providence gets a big break.
Right. Championships are won by making big plays. Ball's in the receiver's hand at the 5, pops out. Providence intercepts, runs it back 30 yards, and after that, it's been all Providence. They made big plays. They got a turnover for a touchdown through a pass to Eric Steinbach, who's definitely one of their big play guys. And they're up 12-0 and look pretty good for a 4th in a row right now.
I'm looking at least from field level. You're looking at it from the press box level. Does it look like the Redbirds are maybe a little too emotional in tonight's game?
Well, maybe. I think, Providence, a big weight was lifted off their shoulder when that winning streak was snapped at 50 games. Right after that, Coach Sempner said, right now I got a team that's playing to win. They want a state championship of their own. And with that long winning streak for a while, it was almost like they were playing not to lose. Now he's got a team that's playing to win. Like he said, his seniors want this one for themselves.
And this would be 4 in a row, and that is a very rare feat in Illinois State high school football.
Oh, it sure is, and it's a tremendous accomplishment. He's done it in both classes, and in this whole 4-year span, he's only lost 1 game, and that was a regular season game.
One of the benefits we have in the media is we can play coach, and they don't chalk up wins and losses to us. If you're Pat Ryan right now in that locker room for Metamora, what are you talking about? What are you thinking about doing in the second half?
I think they have to throw the ball successfully. I don't think they're going to beat Providence just running the ball. So they're going to have to make some big pass plays. They're going to have to score pretty quickly to get back in the game. And their defense has got to play the way it did in the first quarter and keep Providence out of the end zone.
Okay, thanks. That's Steve Tucker of the Chicago Sun-Times. I'm Pete Pranica. We are at the half. Metamora trailing Providence Catholic 12-0 at the half. Back with more after this.
Well, Thanksgiving is over, but there's one little morsel left downstairs. Welcome to the day after. Along with Al Harris, I'm Brian Davis. Providence has made half a reservation for its 4th consecutive Class 4A high school football championship, leading at halftime 12-0. Now, 2 late scores. Let's talk about Metamora guarding against the blowout in the second half.
Well, Brian, what they have to do, they have to watch out. You know, they lost this game last year. Now they're wondering, can we beat these guys? That doubt could sink in there and hurt them real quick.
All right, let's take a look at some of the first half highlights. Again, it was a war of attrition, so nothing from the first quarter, but in the second, things started to pick up. Metamora actually driving to the house.
As you see here, but right off of the receiver's head there, and Joyce makes a heads-up play by intercepting the ball.
Might have been a 6-point swing there because Jeremy Dykes had eyes for the end zone. Now Adam O'Reel off the busted play. Look at this from midfield all the way down deep into the red zone.
He's got some wheels too. He's the kind of guy you didn't think would be being that effective running, but he was there on that play.
Simple timing play here. Brandon Johnson for 6.
Nice fade route. Great positioning by Johnson.
Now here, the turnover bug burns Metamora in a big way. Ball comes out, and Greg Brown, the safety, had a great first half, and he puts Adam O'Reel in business at the 5-yard line.
And you see that nice stop route there by Steinbach, the big tight end. Easy touchdown.
So there's your scoring. Both points after for Providence have failed. If you're Matt Sempner, maybe you're talking total football to your guys in the dressing room. Maybe you're talking about the need to get those extra points. But now look at how things turned around. Metamora with the edge in time of possession, but a lot of the other indicators in the Celtics' favor.
Really, the name of this game is turnovers. If you look at the stats there, I mean, for time of possession, almost is pretty even, but the turnovers is the big key in this game, and this is what they have to guard against.
Something that really jumps out. Look, 133 yards to 69. Both these teams are in the 300-plus range in terms of total yardage per game. So this really was a sluggish first half for both these teams offensively.
Yes, it was, and they have to settle Jamie Dishroom down there, and hopefully he comes back out there and it's just, you know, relax out there and just play football.
Jamie Dishroom and the boys from Metamora are down 2 touchdowns. They'll try to come back in the second half. Stay with us on Sports Channel. Before kickoff third quarter, let's go back downstairs to Pete Pranica.
Thanks, Brian. I talked with Metamora coach Pat Ryan coming out of the locker room. Earlier in the week, he had said, we have to play a perfect game to beat Providence. Well, 3 turnovers in the first half, far from a perfect game. He told his young men at halftime, he said, you know what? We can play with this football team, have to take it 1 play at a time, then 2 plays at a time. Just build some confidence because we can play with the Celtics, although they do trail it 12-0. Brian?
Thank you, Pete. You know, the Ryans are really a coaching family. Pat's the head coach here at Metamora. His brother Kurt is an assistant on the staff, and they have a younger brother Joe who is head coach at Princeton. So not bad bloodlines. I want to add to something that I said earlier at halftime, Al, just to put the 133 yards and 69 yards in perspective. Providence averaging 408 yards a game. Metamora 373. The kickoff. And wow. He slips and falls, and down he goes.
Scott Carden. And you know what? This is a big key here. This is a big key here. You need a good emotional play coming right out to shoot, and Scott provides it right there. Good layout. I mean, 2 fine coach teams. You don't see too many missed tackles in this game.
Brian Moody was the return man for Providence as the Celtics open up the second half, 1st and 10 from their own 24-yard line. Ruggiero stacked up. Line of scrimmage, if that.
See, Pat Ryan, obviously his talk hopefully will benefit this team. He's telling them, see, you can tell if he's telling them we can play with this team. They're still wondering, they're still questioning. They need to get a confident stop, and they need to get a score to get back into this game.
Jake Elbert there, number 36, 6 feet, 220 pounds of right end on the tackle. Lone setback, receivers to the near side. Now Pop in motion to the far side. And Adam O'Reel back to pass. Takes a look. Ball is tipped, and it's intercepted. Intercepted on the play by Brett Dolinsky. Metamora football in Providence territory.
This is what they needed. They needed a turnover. They needed a confidence builder. They came out the first 2 plays and stuck it to the run. Now they've created a turnover. This is what they needed big time.
Sudden change is what they call it.
Now he has, he has plenty of time there. But as you saw, there was a deflection. We couldn't catch it quite on that angle who it was, but they're trying to go to pop, which their head coach talked about going to earlier. Great play for them.
Brian Murphy gets the action started, 1st and 10 at the 31-yard line. One of the big linemen, I couldn't see which one it was, got his paw up and tipped it. And that was Carden on the tip.
Delinsky did a great job of keeping his eyes on the football. Now you see here, 98.
Yep.
There is Scott Carden. I mean, he's the star on that defense today, that's for sure.
Last year, Providence had 6 turnovers, and now the flip on the option to Allen. He's buried. Big loss on the play. Eric Steinbach
just swallowed him like someone swallowing a pill. I mean, he just engulfed this guy.
Ricky Olsta also on the stop.
Now watch Allen. Allen, remember, he's only 5'7". This guy is 6'7". I mean, he just swallowed him up. Just a giant of a man. You can see why he's going to Iowa.
Maybe he'll change Hayden Fry's fortunes. They always start so well and then tend to peter out as the Big Ten season goes along.
Well, they definitely need athletes like him. He'll definitely help their ball club.
3rd and 14. Dish room needs room. Escapes one tackler, goes downfield for Allen. The ball tipped by Olsta. Allen still had a chance at the goal line.
He had a chance. I tell you what, both teams had a chance on that. Dish room rolled out and threw back across the field. That's tough for a right-handed quarterback to do, to roll to your left and throw back to your right. Not that much of a fake. See great pressure on him, but he does a good job eluding with his feet. He throws back. That's hard to do. The ball's going to hang up there. Right through Allen's hand. Those are the plays you need to make to get back in this football game.
I'm not even sure. Greg Braun was there as well. He got up slowly. I think that ball got all the way through. I'm not sure that Olsta ever did get skin on that.
So he might have been, seeing those white jerseys out there, might have took his eye off the ball just for a split second.
So now 4th and 14. Dish room has to deal with Steinbach. Surges ahead, gets some room, breaks another tackle. He doesn't have the first down, though. Ball will go over on downs. Gutsy play, but it falls short. Providence football.
Well, gutsy play. I guess they figured, they were, if they punted the ball, they figured they'd punt it into the end zone, so it was like a 10-yard difference there. But that's tough to make it against a tough defense like Providence.
Jamie Dishroom was actually a running back last year. Jared Grebner was the quarterback when Metamora came to the title game.
Dishroom, I mean, he's frustrated. It's tough, He had that previous play now. So he needs to, you see how angry he is right now?
Now they're going to measure. Look at this. They're going to measure. It was a good yard short.
Dishroom needs to keep calm. He needs to keep his poise.
He had a chance, but Jeff Seckler, Metamora's All-State end, he had a shot to give him a little bit more room with a block and couldn't quite pull it off.
That's a fundamentally sound football team, Providence is. It's going to be tough to get a lot of yards in them at any point.
Single setback is Ruggio. Scott Carden says hello on 1st and 10 from the 22-yard line.
I don't know the numbers on how many tackles Scott Carden has, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's about a dozen right now. This guy seems like he's in on every play. Number 98, Scott Carden, 5 sacks he's had for the season. Does it all. Special teams, defense, gets after people.
I want to go back after we run this play. 2nd and 7, receivers to the far side now. Pop in motion that way with Rigsby the lone setback, and he'll take the football. And down he goes. Pete talked with Steve Tucker of the Sun-Times at halftime about Bishop McNamara's 30-8 win in the last game of the regular season over these Providence Celtics. Thank God, said Matt Sempner. And this is the quote: the streak got bigger than what we should focus on. We spent a lot of energy playing tense, playing not to lose. Now the monkey is off their backs. They got a monkey call 3rd and 4. O'Reilly quickly back to pass, and he hits his receiver, and David Pop fell down, and the ball just hit him in the face.
Just hit him smack in the face. I was wondering why they haven't went to Pop that much in this game. I mean, he's been so explosive for him the past couple of games. They finally try to get it out there to him. Just a quick 3-step drop. Oh, he lost his footing there. It's lucky he didn't sprain his right knee. Just lost his footing. He has to get his foot underneath him on those pass routes.
So 4th and 4, and once again, Tony Ulster will punt for the Celtics. Samaj Allen in single safety for the Redbirds. Ulster lines it up, gets a good high floating kick away. Allen has it at the 40-yard line, steps straight ahead, gets 5 yards.
I keep commenting about this, but I do have to say, and I'll probably wear people's ears out, this is one of the best tackling teams I've seen in high school. You know, and I mean, they are just so well coached in the things they do.
So 1st and 10, Metamora.
Metamora has to come. They got to find something to shake them free. They need a big play to get their guys emotionally involved in this game. Coach has to pull something out of that hat.
Here's Murphy.
Murphy, you know, he had 2 big fumbles at the beginning of the game. Now it's important for him to get in there and establish some momentum. Now that's the kind of guy, he can get intense and a little angry at himself and make some plays, but you don't want the quarterback doing that.
Also like to get a count on Brian Murphy's yardage at fullback when we get a moment. We're keeping our stats man Dave Berkson busy. 9 tackles, by the way, for Scott Carton, and 1 deflected pass. 2nd and 5. Again to the right side, gain of a couple.
The problem you're going to find out here for Metamora, they're not known as a passing team. I think they've only thrown 81 passes all year. So if they continue to stay down by 12 points or so, they're going to really have a problem if it gets into the 4th quarter, because they're going to have to throw, and that's where Providence wants it.
Metamora had hoped to pass more, but this is a team that only came in averaging 66.5 yards a game. They have 28 on 7 attempts. Dishroom keeps, gets sandwiched and driven down. Jim Joyce, the initial hit, downstairs to Pete Pranica.
Thanks, Brian. A testimony to the strength of the Celtics defense. The Redbirds, the highest scoring team of any, I'm talking any classification here in Normal, as they scored 543 points. They have never scored fewer than 24 points during a game this season, and that came in the last playoff game against Pontiac, 24-14 winners. But they racked up 53, 54, 55, 58 points during games this season. So this is not a bad offense by any stretch of the imagination. Providence playing excellent defense. Brian?
Metamora does eke out the 1st down. Can I give just a real fast compliment to our crew, Tim Sutton and the gang? They are shooting the bejabbers out of this football game. They have been bang on everything. An awesome job.
They sure have. I mean, all the cuts they've given us. But you know what the thing is? Providence, the reason why they play great defense, they're in their lanes. You don't see someone cutting back and a big hole there. They're filling their lanes defensively, and they're giving the Redbirds no place to run.
Here's Jeremy Dykes, and he is hammered for another tackle for loss.
And you know who it's by, don't you?
Let me guess.
Nick Pasolano.
But he was just the first of 3.
Watch this. Right over the center, just swims in.
Boop, boop.
Gets good help from the rest of his teammates.
That's 5 guys on him.
Oh, look at him. He's just a sophomore, you know. He got all that exuberance in there. I wonder if there's any pressure on him. He's probably too young to get pressure. He probably just
you know,
like,
hey. You're exactly right, Al. He probably just doesn't care. 6 minutes remaining. 7 tackles for loss for the Celtics. 31 yards in lost yardage then for the Redbirds. 2nd and 11 at the Providence 46. Murphy leads through. Dishroom keeps, and The outside linebacker, Brendan Kavanaugh, says, get out of here.
Now, see, this is what you don't want if you're the Redbirds. 3rd and long. You know, Providence has a great pass rush led by Steinbach, and also their secondary is playing very well. So you have to find a way to dent that tough pass rush and secondary that are playing so strong.
We count 8 tackles for Pasolano. Now Metamora at 3rd and 9, 2 of 7 on 3rd down.
It's very tough to convert for a running team from 3rd and 9.
Couple of fake handoffs, and now the release. Big gain. 1st down, and how? Jeff Seckler.
Jeff Seckler's a big man, 6'3", 220 pounds. And he just steamrolled the defensive back out there.
15-yard gain.
It's coming right out in the flat. You see Joyce out there. He's not much of a match. Joyce is only 170 pounds. That's a big mismatch against a guy 6'3", 220.
Gives up 50. That's exactly right. Seckler again an all-stater. Seckler in dish room on Metamora's side. Poppin Steinbach for Providence. Coach's all-stater Samaj Allen managed to squeeze his way through for a couple. 1st and 10 from the 29. They're getting close to the red zone.
They are. They're getting close to the red zone, but keep an eye on this pitch here. It's kind of, yeah, it didn't look like a regular pitch there. It was kind of like almost like a handoff pitch.
Well, it's the option. Remember, you just go ahead and fling that thing sometimes.
It looked like he almost didn't make up his mind what he wanted to do on that one. But you know what? But you know what though? If you look, the coaching staff finally did a good job. They got their tight end involved in the passing game. They said, we can't beat them with our wideouts. We got to get someone else involved. Good coaching move by Metamora.
2nd and 6. This time everybody at the line, play blown down.
Yeah, Metamora looked like they're a little quick off the ball there. I think they may have called that on them. Legal procedure.
Come on, execute.
On the left side of their line, I think.
Everybody on Providence's side of the line of scrimmage just held up. Murphy just sort of popped through there. He, in live action, he dreams about gains like that.
So you can't afford any mistakes against this fine Providence defensive team.
You know, I wonder at the same time, though, Al, whether or not there still might be the remnants of a confidence problem on Providence's side. I'll explain myself in a minute. 2nd and 10, 29-yard line. Now he's got 3 guys in the back. Well, they've done very little with the receivers off to the wing at all tonight. Dish room back takes a look. Hot pursuit, and he just gets rid of the football. He was about to be buried by Zach Domenico, and Providence, a couple of the guys say, well, wasn't that grounding because he'd come out of the pocket, but it's just going to stand as an incomplete pass.
Domenico did a great job of just putting good pressure on there. Watch Domenico come up the field, where he is number 34. He forces him to throw that ball. Look at all those white shirts over there. There were a ton of white shirts there. He wasn't going to throw anywhere.
Brian Murphy was in the neighborhood.
He just basically went through there untouched.
Now quickly to Allen, and once again, Braun hit him, and he's going to get the call. This will be a 1st down, and 15 yards will take it into the red zone to the 14. 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line as Greg Braun gets flagged for pass interference.
Metamora looked like they couldn't catch a break at all in this game, and finally they've caught a couple in this drive. As you can see, I thought he threw it behind him. There was a reason why he threw it behind him. Greg Braun got there a little early.
It was a bang-bang play. But, of course, when this team passes the football, they're all bang-bang plays.
Well, I'll tell you what, they got the momentum on their side. If they can get a score here, they're right back in this game.
No such thing as the 7-step drop for Metamora's quarterback dish room, who now has got his 3 backs in the backfield, and he hands it off to right tackle. Goes Brian Murphy.
The thing that Metamora has to be careful of now, Providence, they're a very well-coached team. They're thinking all the time. They could be thinking of a strip down here, trying to get the turnover here. So it's very important for Metamora to protect the football.
Gain of 4. 2nd and 7 from the 11. So the Redbirds can still get a first down without having to score, obviously. They'd have 4 yards to work with inside. 2.1. Brian Murphy's per carry average is well below his season average of 5.9. Dishroom carries, tries to power his way through the defender, Kavanaugh, and he does get down within a yard of the first down.
Dishroom was looking at Allen on that play. Allen might have scored on that play. I mean, he turned the corner on this pretty quick. Now watch Allen on the option play up there, number 3 at the bottom of your screen. You'll see 2 guys right there. There's no one outside. Allen's outside there all by himself. If he would have pitched the ball, it would have been a touchdown.
Now here we go, off to the left side again.
But again, Dishroom is really the strength of their offense. And I guess he's trying to think he's going to take it into his hands.
1st and goal. Metamora.
This is what they need. Now they got the crowd involved. They got them pushed against the goal line. They have a very good chance here to score a touchdown.
14th play of the drive. And Providence is getting penetration, but sometimes having trouble with the fill on that option. Much the same way, by the way, that Central A&M did battle today with St. Joseph. They were able to penetrate, but they couldn't fill.
Well, Pasolato got penetration on that one again, the nose tackle for Providence.
Look at Brian Murphy. He's behind the quarterback. Dishroom takes the handoff. Touchdown. Brian Murphy wheels into the end zone. Metamora is on the board and within a touchdown of Providence.
Great play by them. Now they got the crowd into it. You saw all the players on the sideline. I think now they're starting to go, hey, we can do this. The coach said we can do this. When you get a touchdown like this, the right in this game is still in the 3rd quarter. Maybe in their hearts they're starting to believe.
They're going to go for the deuce. Interesting. Get you within 4, you kick the point, you get within 5, you still have to score a touchdown. Dishroom dances, Dishroom goes down.
Well,
2-point conversion fails. We'll talk about that when we come back. It is still, though, a minute and a half remaining in the 3rd quarter. A 6-point football game. Stay with us from Hancock Stadium. So let's talk about this. If you kick the extra point, you're within 5. So you score a touchdown. Then if you miss the extra point, you're there. You still have the lead, provided you stop Providence defensively. Now, if you go for 2, you're within 4, but you still need to score a touchdown. Al, do you see what I'm saying?
You still need to score a touchdown. And it's tough doing it against Providence's defense. They've had a hard time moving against them the whole game. You know, if you get 7 to 12, they're up there.
Awesome drive. 15 plays, 55 yards. Kickoff is taken by Pop. Gets his seam. Look out. There he goes. David Pop, 1 man to beat. Can't quite get there, but a great return. Rhett Relaford brings him down as Pop makes a great statement after Metamora closes to within 6. 55-yard kickoff return for David Pop.
And he caught that going backwards, too. You see him setting up the guys, slowed down a little bit. Look at that big wedge there. Big hole. Pop is their big play player. He hasn't really done a lot today, but finally he made his presence known on the kickoff.
1st and 10 at the Metamora 40-yard line. The handoff to Ruggiero up the gut. Pete Pranica is downstairs.
Thanks, Brian. Back in 1975 was the last time the Metamora won a state championship. Their quarterback that year was Jim Garber. Remained very, very popular in the community of Metamora, became the town's mayor. He was also a good friend of the program, frequently visited the Metamora locker room, including after last year's final loss. Unfortunately, this October, he lost a battle with throat cancer. The Redbirds dedicated the remainder of their season to the quarterback of the 75 champs. Brian?
And there is a bit of inspired defense, Pete, as the Redbirds snow the ball carrier, tackle for loss, and once again, Jake Elbert right in his knickers.
Jake Elbert and Scott Carden also were in there. They're getting penetration. See those guys getting through the gaps? David Long was in there. All those guys were in there. Mike Hines, all of them were good penetration for him.
Ruggiero, the ball carrier on the play. 3rd and 8 now from the 38-yard line. Another 3rd down.
I would look for Pop on this play.
Pop. Oh, no, it's not Pop. It's Rigsby, the fullback, and he puts the Celtics down to the 12-yard line.
Well, that's why I'm in the press box and the coach is down there on the field, isn't it? Great call by Sefner on that play. They had him split out 3 wides. Sends the tight end right down, the fullback right down the seam there. No one's there.
26-yard gain as we've got a clock problem. Or no, has time simply expired in the 3rd quarter? It has. Time flies when you're having a good time, and right now, Adam O'Reilly and the Providence Celtics are having a good time. "12 minutes remaining in regulation. Perhaps 12 minutes remaining in the season. That remains to be seen. Metamora has climbed to within 6, but Providence is knocking at the door. 1st and 10 from the 12-yard line. But again, a big play as Metamora's defensive line steps up on 1st down.
But this shows you the big play that David Pop made off of that kick return. It's been tough for both offenses to get a sustained drive going, and he ate up, almost close to 60 yards on that kick return. That got him in great field position, and the great pass right down the seam to their fullback. 2 big plays. That's what you need against 2 fine defenses.
Total yardage, Providence by 50. Justin Ruggiero, 18 carries, 50 yards, well below his average of 6 a pop. O'Reilly sets, fires, Samaj Allen hog ties David Pop, but man, the timing on it was bang, bang, and there will be no flag on the play.
And that was a great play by Allen. Outstanding timing on that. Ladies and gentlemen, this is how you play cornerback. Watch this. He gets that hand right underneath there, pops it out of there. Excellent play by Allen. Little small guy, only 5'7", 150. So what they're trying to do is get a little stop route for the receivers to jump over those small cornerbacks.
Receivers, right and left. Johnson far side, Pop near side, Rigsby, then Ruggiero in the eye. O'Reilly under center, 3rd and 10 at the 12. Back he goes, passes, the ball is intercepted. Dolinsky intercepts from Metamora. He's chased down from behind by Steinbach, the intended receiver on the play, but the damage is done.
Dolinsky, that's his 2nd interception. The 2nd interception today for Dolinsky. He makes another big play for these guys.
12-yard return after the pick.
He's an unsung hero there. Drops back. He has a nice sight lane there. Zielinski drops right in front of Steinbach. Makes a fine grab.
Let's go quickly to Pete Pranica.
Thanks, Brian. Big contrast between Metamora coach Pat Ryan and his quarterback, Jamie Dishman. Dishman, just before this drive, going up and down the sideline, hitting everybody on the helmet, saying, this is where we take control of this football game. 11-13 to play. Let's see what they do, Brian.
Thank you, Pete. From the 13, Jamie Dishroom starts with a handoff to Jeremy Dykes. Doesn't get much as he's strung out east to west to the near side.
Great pursuit by Providence there. It's not too many places to go when you see 4 or 5 white shirts and 1 red shirt.
Brendan Kavanaugh with the tackle on the play. Also Greg Braun.
But there's still plenty of time in the football game here for the Redbirds, but it's going to be tough going against Providence.
Somebody who's had a relatively quiet night, and I think it's because they've run away from him, is the Celtics' leading tackler, Swanek. Look at that to Seckler. Pops it, loses it, regains it. Great play as Dishroom connects with Seckler again for big yardage. 26 on the carry, on the play.
Great calls by the Pat Ryan, the coach of the Redbirds. They're going to the guys that people aren't thinking are supposed to break the game over. Just a great catch there.
43-yard line, Jamie Dishroom. How many times tonight have we seen this guy throw into double and triple coverage? But again, Seckler
made a great catch.
Man, at 6'3", see, he can win the jump ball. Here's Dice, who once again gets strung out and taken down by Zach Domenico. Sure tackle made on that play.
Yeah, that's a sure tackle, but Seckler made a great catch. When you have a big target like that, reaching up, catching with your hands, that's what you need. Domenico, nice tackle there, right by the ankles. Guy's not going anywhere.
You know, Jeremy Dykes 5'11", 180, but he went down like a bowling pin there.
Totally different from our previous game that we did. I mean, you saw guys bouncing off of people, running for days. Here, people, when they get tackled, they go straight down because they
It's
get
been
wrapped up.
tight. You're right about that, my friend. 2nd and 10. Seckler in motion to the near side, now sets up on the right end. Dishroom dives, still on his feet, gang tackled after a gain of 6 yards, maybe not quite. Eric Steinbach, Greg Braun, Jim Joyce. Goodness gracious, maybe it'd be easier to tell you who wasn't in on that tackle. So anyway, back to a point we made late 3rd quarter.
But you know, one of the things too, I didn't mean to interrupt you. What's the difference in this game? Turnovers. Second half, turnovers for Providence.
Each team's coughed it up. 3rd and 4. Dishroom. Wow, look at that. All kinds of room. Total misdirection. Dishroom on the naked boot. First down in Providence territory. 12 yards.
That's what you need to do. Get your quarterback out there. He's the leading scorer for your team. Most of the offense is from there. Kind of does a naked bootleg out there. No blockers or anything. Just takes off around in. Very tough to tackle on open field.
Matt Sempner talked about how his guys were playing not to lose. You know, these guys probably came in here wanting to put their own stamp on. Look at Jeremy Dykes. There he goes. Dykes to the 20, the 10. Touchdown. Wow.
They ran this play 2 times in a row here. Almost 2 times in a row outside that quarterback bootleg. They came right back to it. Just a little counter pull. The 2 linemen around there. Dykes just said, oh, now see, that's one of the few times you've seen Providence miss a tackle, and he's off to the races.
40 yards on the play, and the Redbirds will go for 2. They'll either play on the lead or they'll play even with a chance maybe for overtime. Dishroom to the right side. Ball is intercepted. 2-point conversion is interrupted by Greg Braun, who is tackled by his intended receiver. So we remain tied with a little less than 8.5 minutes remaining after the 40-yard play. Points off of turnovers.
That's what's happened to story in the second half. See, I don't know. I kind of disagree with this. I think I'd kick the extra point. It's tough to get any points in this game with these 2 defenses playing the way they are. You know, you might have one mistake or breakdown like Providence had there, but it's tough to get points. And I don't know. I don't know if I agree with that call there.
Well,
that Ryan did.
Do understand that the kicker, Rick Relaford, has missed 14 of 50 points after this season. So we don't know exactly why, whether it's him, whether it's the snapper, whatever it is. You know what I'm saying?
Well, if you're going against a defense, though, that you pretty much had your way, then you go for the 2 points. But it's been tough for them. I mean, they've been really fighting tooth and nail just to get yards, although they broke it off of that last one. Now it plays with the Celtics. How are they going to come back?
66 yards gained in just 2 plays. Pete Pranica downstairs.
Thanks, Brian. Interesting to note, Rick Relaford was kicking into the net all throughout that drive, practicing his placements. Yet, when it comes time to make a decision on the PAT, they go for the 2-pointer instead of the single point.
David,
Brian?
Thank you, Pete. David Pop from the 15, steps inside, steps outside, thinks twice about it, pays the price. Brad Rogers, the initial tackler.
Here's another look at touchdown. Story of big plays here. Nice cutback. See, Braun should have made that play on that tackle. But you give Dykes that much room, he's just going to break it on you. And see, that's one of the few times that you've seen Providence break down as far as fundamentals. And that was a big play for him.
Look at the smiles on Metamora's sideline. Look at the energy that Pat Ryan.
Now Providence has to come back and seize momentum back.
1st and 10 from the 26. Right into the middle is Ruggio. He's met. He spins and gets some positive yardage out of it, even though he was hammered at the line of scrimmage by Rhett Relaford, among others.
Now, I'll tell you one thing. They need to get it in Pop's hands. I mean, last week, he had 6 receptions for 177 yards and 2 touchdowns. He had 10 rushes for 124 yards. So you need to get him involved, especially on this important drive to get the momentum back.
Gain of 1. Receivers split far and near side, out of the eye. Ruggio, the tail of the tandem. That seems to be a passing key, and the ball to Pop. Pop was the setback on the play.
Nice tackle.
And on the swing pass, he is brought down by Carton.
Carton is all over the place. He's their version of Pasolano. I mean, he's all over the field. You got the dangerous Pop out there, and look at him lay out there. Look at Carter lay out there. Great tackle.
3rd and 5. Providence, 4 of 10 on 3rd down. Now the swing pass again to Pop, and he's not going to make it.
The momentum has changed here.
Jared Ollig was the first to him. Brett Dolinsky closed in a hurry. 4th and 3, and the Celtics will give it up.
The Redbirds, as you can see, are believing they can beat this team. They doubted it until they got that first score. Now Providence has to somehow come back, make a good stop, and get the momentum back. Sefner did a good job, though. You notice that he started putting Pop in different positions in the tailback to try to get him the football.
David Pop, you just saw his numbers. Remember, folks, he had 1,200 yards on this season. Off the side of the foot goes the punt by Tony Olsta. We'll take a break. You better not touch that dial. We're tied with half the 4th quarter to play at Hancock Stadium in Normal. Welcome back. I want to go back to this confidence thing, okay? The 50-game winning streak, Matt Sempner says that a lot of guys who played last year who graduated were putting a lot of pressure on this year's seniors to keep the streak going. Well, you know, you got another streak here, 3 consecutive state championships. I wonder if the Celtics of 1997 might be feeling the ghosts of the Celtics of 1996. Would that follow?
I don't know right now. I mean, they haven't lost anything yet. They're just tied right now. I think they just had to seize the momentum back. As there was another tackle there by Solano.
You know, what's interesting, though, even Pat Ryan conceded that these guys were going to come in and punch him in the jaw a few times. This is a team that, at the blush of it, taking absolutely nothing away from Metamora. This is a team that you figure would come in and play an awful lot of smash mouth and just wear these guys down. And the Redbirds, thanks to the turnover, have gained some strength late.
And see, both of the teams have got their points, you know, based off of the momentum of the turnover. First half, Providence has it. Now the Redbirds have it. I think the big star in the second half for the Redbirds is Jeff Sackler with those 2 big catches he made for them. And a great coaching job by Pat Ryan to throw to Sackler.
Galena won 1A. Central A&M won 2A. Canelan won 3A. 5 minutes remaining in the 4th quarter. 4A's a question mark. 3 of 11 on 3rd down. Steinbach draws a beat on Dishroom, and the ball is tipped through the hands, and they're going to
He threw it to a lineman.
You know, he threw it to a lineman. I was going to say, no question about it, they're going to flag that. Providence actually had a chance for an Oski there.
Yeah, but you know what? That's what you need if you're Providence. You need your big play players to step up, and Steinbach did that. The big 6'7" giant of a defensive end that they have. You need the big stars to step up to make the play. He's their senior, their big leader. Watch Steinbach get up the field. He's hard to throw over, hard to even see over. He makes him throw it to his lineman.
Wow, Dave Pullman, that's all he had up there. Josh Springer, number 66, was the only other guy in the neighborhood. So
you need it.
4th down, you lose the down.
You lose it down, you needed someone to step up, and that's what happened. Steinbach stepped up. He's their senior. See him trying to lead him in there. See him. You can tell how emotional he's in there. Say, come on, guys. We're still in this game. That's what senior leadership does for you. But who's going to talk back to a guy that big?
I wouldn't. Heck, I won't talk back to you. DeMoss just does get the punt away. Braun watches the ball bounce. It's flagged down for Metamora by Derek Schluter, sophomore special teamer. 37-yard punt.
Boy, oh boy, we've really been blessed to have 2 great games, haven't we?
We really have. It's unbelievable, and the crowds have been fabulous. You know, let's talk about Providence in context of some other great Catholic League teams. Joliet Catholic won 4 in a row. Mount Carmel more recently won 4 in a row. The Celtics are trying to match that feat tonight. And O'Reilly quickly back to pass. He airs it out looking for a pop. Juggles. Oh! Catches it. Goodbye. 65 yards as Providence, on a play that should never have been completed, cashes in and takes the lead. 4.5 minutes remaining, 4th quarter.
That's what I was telling you. You got to get it to your big play guy in a tight game. You get it to him. What an unbelievable catch.
He juggled that thing for about 10 yards.
That was a great catch. Now, as you see there, O'Reilly really reels that ball out there. It's hanging up there. He keeps his eye on the ball. Look at this. Great eye-hand coordination by Pop. You can see why he's one of the top players in the state.
That after, again, some really muted work from him, and the extra point by Godfrey is up and good.
You know what? The last playoff game they had, he took over late in the game. Same way. Now, I'm telling you what, this guy is a whale of a football player. To have eye-hand coordination like he has, to keep his concentration. The DB actually looked like he interfered with him, but it wasn't called. He just did a fantastic job of keeping his eye on the football.
Well, little Samaj Allen, 1 play, 65 yards. Goodness gracious.
Protection's very important. Metamora, he fakes one way, comes back the other way. One-on-one with Allen. Allen stumbles there. Great, look at that concentration. Looks like a little bit like Lance Allworth with that number 19. I think he would be too young to know who Lance Allworth was, but number 19, remember Lance Allworth?
I
out
sure
San
do.
Diego.
Remember a lot of things about Lance Allworth.
Manby. He had great running skills,
yes,
just like Pop does.
That's exactly right. That's what I remember, was the ability that he had to run after the catch.
I don't know if Pop would want us to call him Bambi.
Here's Dykes. Gets a seam, but oh, look, guess who? Eric Steinbach sheds a block and holds Dykes to a 20-yard return.
Now, you notice who's standing up to the plate here. The 2 stars on offense and defense. Steinbach on defense, Pop on offense.
Pete Pranica is downstairs. Pete, what do you have for us?
Thanks, Brian. You have to be give a lot of credit to Metamora with their confidence, with their poise here on the sideline. They were in the title game last year, and it was a tight ball game. Pat Ryan, after that miraculous reception, calmed his guys down, said we're only down 7. Brian?
Jeremy Dykes tiptoes his way to a modest gain.
You know what?
About 3, maybe 4 yards.
They must be seeing something on that play because they've run about 3 or 4 counters over there. So they definitely are seeing something there. Now, you know, this might be another situation where you look for someone who Providence may not expect to get the football. Those are the guys who are going to make the big plays because I think they're going to shut down your playmakers.
Swing pass to Seckler, who, by the way, on the completion to Pop, was a step away from burying Adam O'Reilly. Seckler talking about teams' big players stepping up and playing big in crunch time. Here's one of your all-staters for the Redbirds.
Well, they flank him out wide. He's a tight end, but they flank him out wide right. Quick step drop, little quick slant there. He's a big guy to tackle. He's alone, so he's going to get a first down for you.
Clock is running, approaching 3.5 minutes. 1st and 10, 44-yard line of Metamora. Murphy, look at him go. Sheds an ankle tackle. Ball comes out.
Oh, man.
Providence football.
Oh.
One official seemed a little hesitant. The other guy stepped right in and said, no, we are going north.
I feel bad for that Murphy kid. I really do.
There is a dagger, and her name is Fumble.
I feel bad for him. That's his 3rd fumble today. I mean, this is a great job of running. You got to protect the football on that play.
1,250 yards worth of rushing for Brian Murphy in his senior season. And now Ruggio bounces off, and he's got some room. Same kind of thing. You bounce off one tackle and you keep on going. But on the second effort, Murphy just gave it up. He wasn't stripped.
Yeah, well, you know, he got stripped a little bit by Kavanaugh. Brendan Kavanaugh came from the back.
Let's look at it again, shall we?
Now, what's number 30 in white, Brendan Kavanaugh? See him there? He's going to come right there.
Oh, you're right.
Got the hand in there. Good strip.
Yeah, he got the punch on it. You're absolutely right. Murphy was kind of holding out there a little bit.
Got to protect it.
1st and 10, 49-yard line. Ruggio again wrapped up and taken down by Relaford and Elbert.
Oh, you feel so bad for the kid. I mean, look at him. I know he's so distraught. I mean, he's one of their star players. And, I mean, it's just been really a tough day for him fumbling the football.
He's got to keep his head in it.
Yeah,
it's
sure
not
does.
over yet.
He sure does. The guys have to rally around him, say, hey, man, you got to keep playing. You got to keep playing. See, he can make a play. That's one nice thing about high school. You can come back, you're playing both ways. You can come out there and maybe make a defensive play. Maybe you get an interception, strip a guy, get the ball back.
Let me tell you something. This is Pat Ryan. This is Pat Ryan bucking his man up because Brian Murphy is not on Metamora's 2 deep on defense.
Hey, get him out there. You know he's going to be fired up. He's going to try to unload on somebody out there.
He is listed as a running back linebacker, but he is not on the 2 deep. Oh, I take that back. He is a middle linebacker. But the bottom line is we haven't seen him out there much tonight. I think Ryan said, come on, get your head back in it.
And guess who got in on that play? Mr. Murphy.
Now, we are inside 2 minutes for the 4th quarter.
See, Pat Ryan's trying to pick his players up. He says, not over yet. Don't drop your heads yet. We're still in this.
I want to give a big compliment while we have a moment to our statistician, David Berkson, and also to our spotter, Brian Dyer. They have been with us all day long. And just like the guys in the truck and the guys on the camera and the guys on the sound crew and every place else, these guys have done yeoman work for us.
Yes, they have.
And as long as we're in promo mode with a timeout, the Chicago Sun-Times newspaper network, the official newspapers of the IHSA state championships. With Al Harris, I'm Brian Davis. Pete Pranica is patrolling the sidelines. The Metamora crowd has quieted quite a bit. 3rd and 6. Providence on 3rd down today.
This is a gigantic play.
4 of 13.
gigantic play for the Redbirds. They have to get a stop. They can't allow them to get a first down on this. They have only 2 timeouts remaining.
O'Reilly back to pass, rolling right, looking for Pop, and he's got it. Another acrobatic catch over the coverage of Samaj Allen.
Who else but David Pop?
First down, Providence. Pete Pranica.
Okay, last week, 20-9, Providence leading their semifinal game. David Pop, very quiet young man, says, you know what, guys, we're not playing aggressively enough. We got to step it up. We have to make plays. And there is no bigger playmaker right now for Providence than David Pop. He has stepped it up a notch, and he has backed his words. He walks the walk, and he talked the talk. He did it all for Providence as they try and salt away another title.
Ruggiero ices it. "37 yards.
That's what happened, see. I think, you know, once they got that first down, I mean, there was no one near them. I mean, that defense has been playing fine the whole time. And, you know, he got that first down, Pop did, and it looked like it took the air out of their defense.
1 minute, 34 seconds remaining in the season. It has taken us all the way down 46.5 minutes to settle this thing. And it was only just settled. 26-12. Providence will match Joliet Catholic and Mount Carmel with 4 consecutive championships in Class 4A. Look at the way he just stepped over.
Oh, see, Jake Elbert had a shot at him. He wrapped him up. You know, I mean, he should have just wrapped him up and tackled him, but he didn't. But I tell you what, you cannot take anything away from Providence. Providence is doing what they have to do to be a dominant football team.
Another quick drive. Look at Pop down there. No way. No way.
You know what? That guy, I have to say, he's like the Lance Allworth of high school football here.
Let's extend your big player's logic, Mr. Harris, and make the circle include Ruggiero. We've talked about Steinbach. We've talked about Pop.
Adam O'Reilly.
That's the other guy you got put in there. How about this fella right there with the stocking cap on and temperatures in the middle 50s? Here's Dykes. There he goes. Caught a seam, got waved down. Somebody got an arm on him about 5 yards back, and then he is brought down at the 35-yard line.
You know, high school is such a big game of emotion. I mean, all, you know, high school, college, and pro, all of them are big emotional games there. As you see, Providence 5-0 record in title games.
It's going to go 6-0. Matt Sempner, a championship coach in 1987, 1991, and now the last 4 years.
There you got you.
Ball to Curtin Elman.
Curtin Elman didn't run through the pattern on that. You have to still play. You never know what can happen. If you bust one real quick and score, you get an onside kick, you maybe might be able to get back in the game somehow. But you can't quit. You have to keep playing. But, you know, in high school, as I explained before, it's so much more emotional, and kids get excited, and they turn it on real quick, and they drop their heads just as quickly.
I think that's one place where Pat Ryan will prove over time to be a really good coach. Because you pointed out a number of times as Dishroom rolls out, now pressured, throws it up, triple coverage, gets past Dykes, the intended receiver, and everybody else, which included Olsta and Braun and Joyce.
Well, they got 2 more shots. You would think they're going to have to go for it on 4th down if they don't make it on this next play. 1 minute 16 seconds left. You know, unless Providence totally breaks down, they definitely have this one in the bag. It's just amazing. If you think 4 championships in a row, 4.
You know, it stands. that, and Nauman again, no, sorry, Seckler. There is still a streak in Celtic land. Remember that Bishop McNamara is a 5A school. So it has still been years since anybody in 4A beat Providence High School.
I see, I had to think about that. That's a good point. Think about this. You think of Peoria Manual in basketball. I mean, going 4 in a row. Now you're seeing this. It shows you that's just great coaching and great players willing to pay the price every summer and in the fall.
Dishroom on the scramble, loses his footing, and man, is he buried.
Exclamation point right there.
Tony Olsta. We saw the explosive tackling that he possesses earlier in this game, and you're absolutely right. With 58 seconds remaining, he puts the exclamation on it. He puts the final nail in Metamora's season. 1st and 10, ball over to Providence on downs, 58 seconds remaining.
Start to celebrate new limits. You have your champions coming home.
Hey, this guy's been coaching for 30 years. You think Sempner gets a Gatorade bath?
You would think so. I mean, I'm sure he's had a few of them.
Ruggiero tiptoes up into the line. You can tell now they're just kind of laying off a little bit. Flags on the plays. Ruggiero and Carton get into it.
Well, let's keep our sportsmanship here, guys. I know some guys are probably very upset there, but you know, this is one of the things we talked about earlier today. You have to keep the sportsmanship. They're going to be on you about it. What a great job by Sempner. I mean, to show you the type of coach that he is, to win that many, and you can see he's a good coach by the way his players are technically. They're very technically sound in all the things that they do.
See that personal foul gets you. It doesn't matter now. I don't think.
That's just a frustration
yeah,
foul.
I don't think Providence is going to do anything here but take a knee with 46 seconds remaining.
They may not after that personal foul.
Well, I was going to say, let me hold that.
They may not.
We'll be hearing from Matt Sempner down on the field with Pete Pranica. Mike Lederman and Jack McInerney will be back tomorrow night. Or tomorrow afternoon, we've got the 5A championship game. Those will be live on Sports Channel. The 5A championship game between Woodstock and Rock Island. And then the 6A game really ought to be a dandy.
Man, oh man, I'm telling you, Addison Trail, Lincoln Way, great football game that's going to be.
Now, there's Pat Ryan. You get all this way, you run the table, but you know something? He said, he was very clear about it. He said, we all know who ought to be the #1 ranked team. Now, that was not to say that he didn't think they'd come in here and win a football game. But what was weird about it was when Providence lost to Bishop Mac, they got knocked all the way down to the 4th seed in their bracket.
Well, good thing for him. If he comes back next year, he doesn't have to face 2 people, Pop and Steinbach.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Well, really, he doesn't have to face. Well, Ruggiero will be back, and O'Reilly will also be gone. But, you know, programs like this, you tend not to rebuild, but to reload.
Yeah, there's no question about that. I mean, these guys, I mean, what can you say? I mean, the pressure's off their back. You talked about that earlier. Was there pressure? Right. They came back. The guys who were seniors came and stepped to the plate.
Hearts of a champion. Timeout taken by Metamora, and Pat Ryan goes out to have a word.
Now, he may be talking to them about some sportsmanship here. You know, he knows his guys are frustrated. Maybe telling them, hey, you guys have done a great job. Let's finish out with class. Play hard, but let's finish out with class.
Had a great halftime show put on by Providence's Pompon squad. That was not Pat Ryan. Thought it was from the back. One of his assistants.
Now, if you think if these teams meet again next year, now the mental load was going to be on Metamora even more, losing to them 2 times in a row.
It's interesting. Matt Sempner, he just doesn't relax. He continues to stalk the sideline like a lion in a cage. See, look at his body, Al. He's still not relaxing. He's not smiling. He's coaching. He's going to coach till the clock runs to triple zeros. We got a mercy killing here. They haven't started the 25-second clock. Now they have, but time will expire. And Matt Sempner gets his congratulations, deservedly so. 1994.
Is he getting the bad?
1995. 1996. 1997. The song remains the same. The Celtics of Providence High School, the Illinois High School Association champion in Class 4A.
He didn't get the bat. He didn't get it.
Telling you what, I had my doubts.
Maybe it's all hat for them. They've won it so many times.
I don't think that if you're at Providence and you play for Matt Sempner, that you do that and expect to live.
The seniors can do it. If I was a senior, I'd do it. What could he do to me unless he's coaching another sport?
Well, you got to remember now that Matt Sempner is also the athletic director. He can still do a lot to you if you play more than one sport.
Well, I'm sure he's not going to do anything to him. He'd still be happy.
Congratulations all the way around to Providence, but also to Metamora, who played a heck of a football game and pushed this thing. Let's not forget, they pushed this thing to the final minutes of the fourth quarter before the Celtics finally broke away.
No question about that. These guys, they showed a heart of a champion. They came back. You know, they were questioning themselves. They came back and made some big plays to get back in. And turnovers were really the story of getting both teams back into the game and out of the game.
So Providence wins by 14. We'll be back with the trophy presentation and our final wrap-up after these words on Sports Channel. Brian Davis and Al Harris at Hancock Stadium in Normal, Illinois, where we are about to start the medal and trophy presentations. First to the runners-up from Metamora High School. Actually not that far away, about a 40-minute drive. They came down today. Actually watched some of the early action before they got on the bus to come here.
They had a big hometown support for them. I mean, this whole side of the stadium is full of red. Look at those guys. They're taking it very hard.
That's tough. You know, it's a tough thing.
And now the second-place trophy will be presented to the Redbirds of Metamora, who finished the season with a final record of 13 wins and 1 loss.
That's David Long.
You know, a lot of times people say, why are you crying? It's just a game. These guys put their heart and their soul in it. And when you lose, it's very painful a lot of times.
You know, I think in the end, you need to understand that sports is really a part of life that is more to be enjoyed. But in the moment, it is something to be savored passionately.
You can learn so many lessons, too.
Coach and athletic director Matt Sempner, and the captains of state champion Providence High School. Please join the presenters on the awards platform.
That hurts. Scott Fair, who was described by his coach, this 6', 230-pound junior playing left guard, as the most pleasant surprise on Metamora's side this year. Matt Sempner, a post-championship thanks, and then up they come.
That team has nothing to be ashamed of. They played a great Providence team. You know, they have nothing to be ashamed of at all. They fought tooth and nail to the end. You know, I know it's tough for them to take. They had high expectations. I think last year they were happy to be there. This year they expected to win. It's devastating for them.
Matt Sempner accepts the congratulations of the IHSA's Don Robinson. And now he comes to the podium.
A special medallion is presented to Father Merkelis, and the individual awards will be presented to Coach Sempner and his team captains.
There's Eric Steinbach. And David Popp side by side, along with Colin Johnson.
See those two guys right there? Number 80, Steinbach, Pop. Those are the guys that turned it around. They took it on their shoulders when they were losing momentum. Those are the guys that made the big plays.
Colin Johnson is a guy whose name we did not call, but again, he is the captain of this team. He is a senior, 6'3".
State championship Class 4A team trophy will be presented to the Celtics of Providence, who finished the season with a final record of 13 wins and 1 loss.
Celtics. Yeah, that line, let's talk about that. You know, Sefner actually teaches these kids line calls. They get in there calling themselves sometimes.
That concludes the awards presentation to the Class 4A championship game. The Illinois High School Association thanks you for joining your team here at Hancock Stadium and hopes you have enjoyed your visit to Illinois State University.
Sometimes on the line, those guys come back to the sideline and they help the coaches make adjustments. Now that's putting a great deal of trust into your kids' hands.
That's why they win all the time.
Absolutely. And here we go. We're going to come back to Hancock Stadium and visit with Matt Sefner and wrap it up in just a moment. Stay with us. Championship Friday just about over in Normal. Providence scores a couple late to win another for Coach Matt Sefner. He's downstairs with Pete Pranica.
Thanks, Brian. Coach, any doubts when it was 12-12?
Well, no, you know, like we were just talking, I felt that we were going to be able to throw the ball. It was just that we had to execute perfectly. Dave did a nice job. Dave Pop said he thinks he could beat the kid if we get single coverage on that side, and we did. We got single coverage. They didn't bracket him that particular time, and David did a nice job beating the kid. He kind of got it, held by the kid a little bit, but he just kept on running and made that circus catch. And I think that's what it's about. You don't quit. We got a little saying in our locker room: the harder you work, the luckier you're getting, and the breaks come your way. Just don't quit. Just don't quit.
In a semifinal game, David spoke up in the locker room saying, hey, we need to play more aggressively. So he's speaking up again today, telling you that he can beat his man.
Yeah, right. In that particular situation, he says he thinks he could take him every time when he wasn't going to get bracketed. They didn't give him double coverage. They just had single coverage on that side, and they kept the free in the middle. And I think it was a big play on our part. I think what they were looking for was that, remember, we threw that one pop pass over the middle right before that, so they had to keep the guy home. 4
consecutive titles. It just does not get old, does it?
No, it doesn't. And I tell you what, I'm very happy. I'm proud of this particular group of kids, because I don't know if we've had the exact talent that we've had in the past years. We got kids that really work hard. These kids deserved to win this state championship game. They worked so hard in the off season. They made themselves into football players, some of them, and like I said, I couldn't be happier. I'm very, very proud of the whole group, and the coaching staff did a great job preparing our kids. A lot of hours were spent watching film, breaking down film. We got a sophomore coach, Doug Turnick, that just sits for hours and hours breaking down, and he's calling passes. He's calling the things that they're going to do on the sidelines, and he was pretty much about 90% right. So he does a great job preparing our defensive coaches with their offensive schemes.
Coach, our thanks and congratulations for 4 straight.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate it.
Thank you very much. Brian, 26-12, Celtics win it. Back to you.
It is the mark of a good coach, indeed the mark of a good coach, who is willing to spread the credit around. And as the Celtics enjoy this and take their post-game beauty shots, we get ready to wrap it up. But Matt Sefner just delivering the praise all throughout his coaching staff, and you saw again as he talked to Pete downstairs what a great deal of confidence he puts in his kids. David Pop says, I can beat the guy if you let me get him one-on-one. So they schemed it up so that he could get Samaj Allen one-on-one, and baboon, look what happens.
Well, that's part of being a great coach. You have to be willing to trust your players enough, especially the skilled guys like a Pop. He's a senior. He's been there before. He's not going to tell you something that's going to hurt the football team.
Well, guess who had a hand in our Pepsi play of the game? None other than number 19 for the Providence Celtics, David Pop.
Well, as you see here, he pumps fakes right where O'Reilly and comes back and gives a lot of air under the ball. Now, Allen underneath the corner, he actually grabs onto him. It hits a shoulder pass. Look at that eye-hand coordination. Just great recovery. He's in there for the touchdown. That's the play of the day. And I mean, that sends him off great as a senior.
Pete Pranica is downstairs. He has been patrolling the sidelines on our watch today. He's done a heck of a job. Pete, you've just talked to Matt Sefner. I'm very curious whether or not you had a chance to get a last look on the way out the door on the Metamora Redbirds side, because speaking of hearts of a champion, but for a couple of breaks, we might be telling a different story here tonight.
That's exactly right, Brian. I think one of the key plays of the ball game comes early on, where there's a deflection that Metamora does not come up with. Okay, Pop comes up with it, scores what turns out to be the game-winning touchdown. Metamora unable to make that connection. They give up the interception. They turn the ball over. And had that pass play gone to the house for Metamora, it could have been a very, very different ball game, because Metamora proved that it could play in the trenches with Providence tonight. Unfortunately, it did not work out that way. They were very, very visibly distraught. A lot of guys slamming helmets. They felt that they were very, very close. Coach Pat Ryan had them convinced that they could play with Providence, and indeed, that was the case. Of course, Pat Ryan also said we have to play a perfect football game. They just turned the ball over too many times in order to win the state championship. But you know what? I have a funny feeling, Brian and Al, that Metamora is going to be back in a state championship game in the very near future.
Well, if you want an argument out of us, you might have to change the subject. Al, I don't know if we've ever seen the ball bounce as crazy as it did so many times tonight. Final thoughts on your end of it?
Well, the thing I thought about, the big keys of this game was turnovers. That's what got both teams in and out of the game, really. And the senior leadership of Pop and Steinbach really stepping up to the plate when Providence needed it.
Now, we want to give you a reminder that tomorrow afternoon, beginning at noon here on Sports Channel, actually, it will be on the main channel. We will have the 5A game, Woodstock and Rock Island, and then the 6A game, Mike Lederman and Jack McInerney will have Addison Trail against Lincoln Way at about 2:30. This 4A game was produced and directed by Tim Sutton. Our graphics coordinator was Jeff Miller. The executive producer at Sports Channel is Tom Ordover. Once again, the state champion Class 4A Providence, 26-12. The Celtics defeat Metamora. For Al Harris, I'm Brian Davis. Good night. The preceding has been an exclusive presentation of Sports Channel and Intersport Television.